right, let's do a proper review of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I saw it twice. I took Gabriel the second time, and he quite enjoyed it. Although it's funny because he didn't. I never exposed him to the cartoon, so the take of Mario as a Brooklyn plumber is totally foreign to him.
Oh, wow.
He thinks of Mario as a resident of the Mushroom Kingdom who goes wahoo, and that's it. So it's I had to explain some things to him, but he enjoyed it.
So it's going to make $1 billion, no problem. We knew this. We saw the marketing, and we're like, that's it, man. Like you're gonna get every single child, and you're gonna get every single adult. And it doesn't have to be the best movie in the world. It just has to do what that trailer's doing, and it's going to make all the money.
Yeah, the marketing was brilliant. The marketing was brilliant because it added Donkey Kong, so you get the elder Gen X, maybe young boomers. It had Mario Kart, so you get like everyone loves Mario Kart. It's the best-selling game on the Switch. So you know
who likes Mario Kart? You want to know who likes Mario Kart?
Who?
Girls and women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they see Rainbow Road, they'll be like, I played Rainbow Road in college, and then it has Mario as the Brooklyn Plumbers. It has the Mario rap in some of the promos. People, the elder millennials, will go nuts for it.
I got Gloria walking down the street going, "We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's our game. We're not like the others." And it's funny because I in my life anyway, my sister, my daughter, my wife, my coworkers, the women in my life, I can never get them excited about like, hey, like let's do like a playthrough of Mario 3 or something. They're always like, no, I suck at that. I run right into the Goomba, whatever. Always. But if I'm like, hey, can we play some Mario Kart? They're always down for Mario Kart.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but Mario Kart, like it. Yeah. I think it's probably fair to say that generally, women and girls like sandbox games like Animal Crossing, Sims. More than they might like an action adventure game or something like that. But somehow Mario Kart also scratches the itch too.
Yeah, it has an equalizer with the items, so there's a little bit of like chaos and fun to it. So you don't have to be completely skilled. You can have some luck with getting the items, and you can feel like you're succeeding even though you might not be that great. So this movie and it does feel like this movie like really tries to hit. It's like they made this as the only Mario movie that ever is going to exist, so they hit on every single like Mario totem that you could. But I think that was brilliant marketing because then they could. Because the marketing really does tell you like you could probably piece together the movie from all of the clips they released.
It's crazy.
I hugely appreciated that. I hugely appreciated that there were so many references that went all the way back to the original game, up to all stuff I knew, and then probably a bunch of things that I assume are references to games I haven't played that are more recent Mario games, that I don't really have much engagement with.
Yeah, like the cat,
was fabulous.
The cat Mario suit was a huge... and the Peaches song, that's a brilliant marketing gag.
It's charting on the top 10. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's charting on the top 10. It's got, if you saw on YouTube, it's over 10 million views of that music video.
Yeah,
the Peaches music video. And when I was in the theaters the second time with Gabriel, a 14-year-old, when the Peaches song started playing, she was like, "Oh, it's the Peaches song!" So it's viral on TikTok and shit. So she was like already loving it. So this movie is it's not, obviously it's a thin plot. It's not cinema, beautiful cinema, but it does exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah, how much depth should the Mario Brothers movie have exactly?
Yeah,
I mean, I think it was a great plot for kids. Actually, a very easy to comprehend plot all the way through. That was certainly enjoyable to watch. It wasn't annoying to watch by any means.
Yeah, John, you don't have kids, but you at this point in your life, you're surrounded by kids between Gloria, and then you have like a bunch of nieces and nephews now.
Yeah,
and so I think that you. Like us, you can watch through the prism of like, hey, would my kids go for this?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we talked about that a bit on the last pod, just a little bit before I had seen the movie, because I could tell like this is going to be a good kids movie. And yeah, it's like the best way to put it is like it's kids first. It is it is decidedly a children's movie, and then they made it really appealing and tolerable to adults.
Yeah, I think it's a new thing, or this is well, it's an idea that we kind of forgot. Now we're getting back. Whereas so many like movies about retro ideas, right? Even though Mario's still kind of present, are primarily focused on people who are 25, you know, and then you just kind of form everything out from there. Whereas I feel that like this movie is firmly aged at the 7 to 13 category, right?
Yeah.
And then beyond that, you have the enjoyment, you know, and I think that that's a really positive thing because there's not enough movies made for kids anymore.
Like, could a group of 28-year-old friends go out and see this movie? Yeah,
Sure.
probably.
Yeah.
But wouldn't they feel just a little bit like maybe it would have been better if children were involved in this somehow?
Yeah.
It felt that way to me.
Yeah.
My kid loved it, and the music is great. Like if I were to have one criticism, I wish they didn't have the needle drop songs in it.
I agree.
Because I think they even developed more songs that would have fit where those needle drop songs would be. But the soundtrack is like the score is amazing.
Yeah,
I actually put it on Spotify on my like sound system, and it's like it goes so hard. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love how they pick up all the themes, intertwine them. It's just really great.
There were a few things that surprised me. I didn't expect them to just be like, fuck it. It's basically the rules of the video game. Like, there's power-ups in this world, whatever. And you can get them and you can get power-ups. Like, I thought, you know, like, I feel like a lesser movie or maybe a better movie, I don't know, a different movie, would try to, like, explain the power-ups a bit better. And instead they were just like, you can get a cat costume. You can get just power-ups. Like in the game, they exist in the movie. Okay?
Yeah, it kind of assumes that you have some working knowledge of the Mario universe. And I think that's fine because, you know, just move through the movie. I like that it's an hour and a half. It's beautiful.
I do too. That's the thing that I actually appreciate.
I don't think that the you know, like when people say like the plot is paper thin and the characters have no depth, I'm like, it's, you know, I agree that it's a bit of a shallow pool, but I think that 4 characters have depth. Mario, Luigi, DK, and Bowser. I think that those 4 have, Mario and Luigi especially. DK has some like family issues, some inferiority complex stuff, but Mario and Luigi, I think for sure a lesser movie. Imagine this if you can. It's the third act. Before the end of second act, all is lost. Mario and Luigi are fighting and they like break off and they have to come back together. Fuck that. This movie goes like these are brothers.
Yeah.
You're hooked on the brothers.
Yeah. I thought that had a lot of heart. Like I thought it was really heartwarming, and I love that loyalty between them. It's something it's kind of rare. I felt like even like the decades of cinema, I don't think I've seen like something like that's just like, oh, as a given that we're brothers, we have a loyalty to each other. Mario has always helped me, and then I'll come through with it for him at the last moment. You know, it's
yeah. Taking it a step further, Mario has a responsibility for Luigi. So when Luigi gets captured, when Luigi leaves his site, there's more stakes to saving his brother who he's responsible for, who he feels like he's been failing, or he's been told he's been failing. I also thought it was cool that we got to see the Mario family. You've never seen that before.
Yeah.
In the live action,
Charles Martinet is voicing the father.
Oh, is that right?
Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, voices his father.
I'm glad they pulled him in for that.
I remember in the live action one, from the Super Show one, not the Bob Hoskins one, the Lou Albano one. They would always talk about Mama. Like, oh, Mario, Mama would have wanted us to. So I always had a sense for, like, they have a Mama.
Bite your tongue, Luigi. Mama didn't raise no slime.
But yeah, he feels like he's failing his brother. And so, okay, obviously somebody wanted to avoid making Peach a damsel. You could see that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yes, clearly.
Word on the street is that they were going to go a little more Last Jedi with the whole thing. That Peach was really going to be kind of the central character. Mario would take a back seat to that. And then Luigi, I think they didn't want to do... This is like the original... This is a rumor. The original treatment from Illumination / Universal was something along those lines. And it was Nintendo that said, nay. The brothers are going to be central to the plot.
Yeah.
And that might be why this movie is a little more straightforward and appeals a little bit more broadly, I think.
Yeah.
Is because it doesn't like needlessly subvert the thing that it is.
And I like, even though Peach is a girl boss, I think she's very charming. I think she's very likable. I think she she defers to Mario in certain situations when it's necessary, and I think I don't think she's annoying. I think they could have did a little more vulnerability. And you don't have to make her be like a damsel. You could just be like, oh, I'm unsure about my rule in this situation. I think they could have done just even a little tweak to that and it would have been stronger. But I think as is, I think she's a very charming character. I think she's very...
yeah, I think she had some decent depth too. I think she was right up there with those other folks that you mentioned, Frankie, in terms of having a little bit of depth to her, a little bit of backstory. I appreciated that.
Yeah. My one complaint was just that, okay, so she basically... when Mario meets her, she's already basically Mario. She's done all the training. She is a warrior already. She does all the power-ups. She could probably negotiate with, I don't know if she could have beaten DK to get their army or whatever, but I feel like she could have negotiated with Cranky Kong. It feels like she's already Mario. So I'm sitting there going, why does Mario have to be Mario then? What does she need? And even later on, she said something like, the sky doesn't matter or something.
Yeah, that was that joke.
Very
was
reflective. Yeah, I like that one.
This is one of those narrative things where you're like, you need to come up with a reason why Mario is important to the plot.
Yeah. That's why introducing just even a tiny bit of vulnerability in Peach, even just in passing, I think would have. It's just a small tweak that would have made it stronger, but it in the end it doesn't bother me. I think the weakest thing for me is the voice of Cranky Kong, which is Fred Armisen doing a very he's going for something. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't like it.
Enough with the showboating. What do you mean? That's what they came here for.
What about Seth? Did you like Seth Rogen?
I didn't have a problem with Seth Rogen. I think he was properly cast. He had it was kind of a funny bro character.
Yeah.
I thought he was
I thought he had good interactions with Mario. And then Donkey Kong's trying to be vulnerable about his father, then Mario's like, yeah, my father doesn't think I'm amounting to anything either. He's like, and your father's right.
He sounds like a genius. I thought that one of the critiques of Mario Odyssey is this guy is going to capture this woman and he's going to force her to marry him, and people don't have an appetite for that sort of thing anymore.
I'm very surprised how strong they went into the forced marriage plot.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I think they got away with it. Maybe not with everybody, because the critics didn't love this movie, but I think they got away with it because they gave Bowser this tender side to him. That I never expected, and it really all comes out through this funny Peaches song. Yeah. It's that Peaches song, to basically just be let's just do a Tenacious D song about Mario. Yeah. It was such a crowd pleaser. That's the kind of thing you bank on. You're I guess we're just gonna bet on Jack Black here and see if he.
Yeah, and it's funny because my son loved that Bowser was musical because my son likes to play the piano, and after the movie he's like, I didn't even know Bowser played the piano. And then he's he wants to do piano lessons he has a little Bowser action figure. So he puts Bowser on the piano. And so I don't know. He liked it. He loved his Bowser's musical side. And when he does awesome. the underground theme on the piano, and he's do 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 do, and Kamek is on the side diling diling.
That was awesome, man. It's a good movie. And the other thing too is, I don't know about you, we just love going to the theater for any old thing, basically. And so if there's a kid's thing out and it looks like it's going to be halfway decent and it's not going to just poison her fucking brain, we'll take her to it. And the last time there was anything even remotely watchable for children was Puss in Boots, which was great. But that was in December. And so here we are 5 months later. It's we were chomping at the bit. And it reminded me of, I remember when COVID hit and Trolls 2 was available on VOD for 1999 when theaters were shut down. And it made a ton of money on VOD and everybody was shocked by it. And I was I'm not shocked by it. No. When you're cooped up with a kid and they have tons of energy and they want to direct it at something, they want imaginary play, they need something to go off of, $20 is cheap to be here's a premium film experience that we can enjoy together. Yeah. I'm at a point, as a dad, like I'm like way more excited for good kids releases that we can all do as a family than I could, like, even if a good adult movie comes out, I'm not that thrilled about it because I'm like, how am I going to get to the theater without my family?
Yes.
Well,
yeah, it's perfect for people our age who have young children who like Mario, know Mario. We bring our kids. We'll bring them twice. Maybe I'll go again. It's like
yeah, we went like on a Friday evening, and then the next morning she woke up going peaches, 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 peaches. And we like ran out the next morning and went to go see it again.
And I thought Chris Pratt was good too. I didn't have a problem with him at all. And I think seen the reaction on Twitter. It seems like people are like, "Oh, I didn't know why I was so afraid of Chris Pratt." It's like
they don't like him for some reason. They got some Chris Pratt issue.
But even those people who have deep-seated issues with Chris Pratt for some reason were like, oh, he was good.
Yeah, look. Could you really imagine? Reasonably speaking, could you really imagine a better Mario movie?
If you give me a universe of possibilities, this is definitely in the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they laid out the path for the sequel pretty, obviously with the clip at the end there.
The question though is like how many more Mario, like we were talking about this in Discord, like you get to like 4 Shreks before you're kind of done with Shrek. And Nintendo has been pretty strategic about like don't overdo the Mario. Like swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. I think they'll probably space it out. I think it would be wise of them to space it out and keep it. But what would be great? Make some Mario shorts and release them on like Switch or something. I don't know.
Or, like a Mario or a Luigi's Mansion Halloween special.
Tie-ins.
Genius.
Yeah. And I think with the sequel, you should probably go a little bit deeper. Like this was very fun. It was surface level. Or a little bit more surface level. It was very brisk. I think for the next one you could dig a little deeper and you wouldn't get into too much trouble.
Yeah,
you don't have to go light year on it, but you can. I think you can get some more theming, some more story.
Yeah. So good job, Illumination. Good job, Nintendo. Most of all.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.